Hey, Squirrels! Today's guest on Blind Squirrel Talk, famous in a small town, is Dannette Flint, otherwise known as the Sassy Southern Lady. Dannette has traveled the world taking humor and inspiration to a whole new level. Her down-to-earth wit and ability to capture an audience with her unpredictable antics makes her not only a superstar in the comedy world, but famous in a small town. Get ready to laugh. She's one of a kind, and we know you're going to enjoy meeting Dannette Flint.
Also, don't forget to find us on Facebook and Instagram at Blind Squirrel Talk and on X at Blind Squirrel PC. If you enjoy the show, please remember to leave us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. Plus, if you write us a review there or leave us a comment on Spotify or YouTube, we'll read it out on a future episode of the show.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Blind Squirrel Talk. And we're doing a series on famous in a small town. I'm Lulu.
I'm Kim.
And here we've got Dannette. We're so excited. We're so excited to have Dannette here today. So, Dannette.
Yes.
Tell us all about yourself in 2 minutes or less.
Yeah. I knew you would do that. That's why I asked you if this was scripted or off the cuff. You're like, off the cuff. Like, me. I'm 64 years old, married to the most wonderful man ever. And I do comedy, stand-up comedy. Yeah. And I love to be in the theater, writing shows and directing shows. And I'm talking about comedy plays. That's what I like to do, too. But for a long time, I toured doing comedy, and I got too old, I think, to do that because I can't outrun anybody if they try to chase me. So I look like, not that anybody want to chase me for all of this, but just my fear started sinking in about like, you can't take care of yourself. I have to ask somebody to please put my bag above my head, and that only works if you're a cute little Southern girl. Old women don't count anymore.
Yeah, when the Boy Scouts start helping you, it's time.
Yeah, and holding and running to grab your arm to help you across the street. Yeah, that's it. So that's it in a nutshell. Well, I do have kids.
Yeah, how many?
Do I have to mention them?
Yeah, I think.
Maybe.
Okay, I have two. I have a daughter and a son. My daughter has 5 children.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And then my son has 3, and of course that daughter always wants you to help with hers, and she needs help. Mm-hmm. The son won't let his come near me. He's afraid I'm going to teach him how to cuss. And I won't even say that because there's the fear that he might see this, and so.
Oh, well, we can make sure it goes to every household in the world except his.
Okay, well,
we can do
see
that.
What I do is my grandkids, his kids, call my truck the cussing truck.
Oh,
because in there they get to say cuss words like butt, kiss my butt and stuff like that. Oh, they're not allowed to say that. No, and they can say idiot. And I just say, please don't tell your mom and daddy I let you say that.
Yeah. Oh, so it's a cuss truck.
It's a cuss truck, yes. Ooh. And only I will let them cuss.
Nice. They're going to think you're the hip grandma.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah. But can I tell you something else about my daughter's kids?
Oh, please.
And you said that about.
Now she's got 5.
Hip grandma. When Lauren had that first baby, which was perfect, he was just great. We both wanted to keep him. The mother-in-law and me. Then we found out she was going to have twins. So when she would call after that, I'd look at my phone. I swear, I'd look at it like I had the plague. I'd start thinking, when sometimes you're afraid to touch your phone because you're afraid it'll answer it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You're just Well, I wouldn't even go near it. I would back up and I'm like, no, she's going to want help with those babies. And so I would just leave my phone there and wait till it stopped ringing. And then there'd be the voicemail, and sure enough, she'd want help. And I'd call her back, and I'd say, hello, like I was on my last leg, about to die. But I love them. That they are 16. Well, the oldest one's 18. Then got those twins that are 16. And then the 14 and the 12-year-old who rules the roost. Yeah, she's precious.
Is it the only girl?
Yeah. Precious. Yeah. Is she special?
Yeah, she's special. And but my son's children are, they kind of fall right in there too. The little girl is, his oldest is 13, and he's got one that's 6. So they're kind of, and then the one in the middle is, she just turned 11.
Oh.
So yeah, So I'm getting old. But anyway.
Aw. Christmas is busy at your house?
Oh, yes, because we all stay at my in-laws' home. One of my husband's brothers, there was 5 Flint boys, and one of the brothers inherited the house. And so we still go there every Christmas Eve, spend the night, and that's where Santa comes.
That's
so when
special.
we get up
I
in the
love
morning,
it.
it's like thousands of kids come up out of the basement, to go. And it's great because, Santa could only leave you 2 or 3 things, but when you walk into the sunroom and you see all that stuff, you think, oh, that's all for me. Yeah, that looks good. So it is special, and that family is very, very close. And so I like that. Sometimes it's hard to find, but we are very close. Now, like, I know I drive my sister-in-laws crazy sometimes. They would fight you tooth and nail for me, and I know that. So I try not to drive them too crazy. But I do love them. Look at you. You're just so sweet. Look at her. She's just so cute over here, just like,
Well, I'm just envious. I think having a tight-knit family is so special. I mean, it's...
Because you don't see that anymore.
You don't.
It's so rare.
We've got 4 kids and 7 grandkids, and we rarely, it's probably 2 or 3 times a year we're all together.
Aw.
And we're all right here. Not in Maysville, but not
Yeah.
far. So everybody's schedule is different,
Oh, yeah, we go to lots of ball games now.
I bet you do.
Yes.
Every sport there is.
Yes,
You've got the baseball, the basketball, every sticker on the back of your car.
We do. The only thing that they don't do is track, and we act like that doesn't even exist. I mean, I love, the field events. I do, but I haven't encouraged any of my kids to do that yet. And I encourage them to do things like volleyball, basketball, because all that's inside.
Yeah.
And usually
and it's exciting.
Yeah,
a track meet is, couple of runs, and it takes all day.
Yeah,
so,
long, boring, hot, or cold.
kind of like a swim meet.
Yeah.
Oh, and I've got 2 that are swimmers,
Yeah.
and they're very competitive and they're good. But going into that, where the pool is, it just takes my breath.
Chlorine.
Yeah, and I've taught swimming,
Yeah.
for 33. This going into my 34th year.
Are you still doing it?
Yeah,
She taught Sean.
yeah.
Two of my grandkids need you. I'm so worried. I freak out because they can't swim without their puddle jumpers.
Oh, well, as long as they're wearing a puddle jumper, can I say don't put the things on your arms that blow up? I'm not listing a name or anything.
Oh, that's fine.
I'd like to put a knife in all those things. But they're just, with a puddle jumper, it teaches the child to keep their hands under the water and their head up so that they're like doing the doggy paddle, which is great. That's how we start out teaching our babies. So, yeah, tell them to call me.
Do you have a pool?
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
That's where Sean learned.
And my husband loves it. He does all the work, and he's just like, oh
It's
my
a
gosh.
lot of work to keep up a pool.
It is. And
It
he
is.
keeps wanting to fill it up and put a garden on top of it.
That's what my mother wants to do with hers.
Oh,
Like, really.
Oh.
Her mom's got a good pool with a diving board and everything. You might have a diving board.
Yeah.
It's not worth it to have a pool without a diving board.
I know. I don't have a slide because at our previous house where I did have a slide, the kids and I put a whole bottle of baby oil on the slide. It was so much fun until
Here we go.
Clogged up the filters.
well, yeah, it was a mess. And my husband came home and he goes, he looks out over the deck and we're down there they'll fly down that slide and go about halfway across the pool. And they were just screaming, laughing. He sounds like y'all are having what's all over the pool. His baby oil. He had a fit. So he said, in this new house, something, we're not having a slide. Forget it.
Aww.
So we did.
You got slide lift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now they just jump off the top of the house.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, my word.
They do?
Yes, because
Only when Kenny's not home, right?
No, because he does it too.
Oh.
If I tried that, I'd trip and fall and land on the cement. I'd be like,
I would too. I would too.
But when we built the pool, he measured out how far he thought it would be there's no way anybody could jump off the porch or the roof and make it. And so our son said one day, I believe I can do it. He's like, please don't try it. Please don't. So Dad was at work one day, and I hear boom, 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 boom on top of the house. What in the world? Then I hear boom. And it was our son. He was out there, and he had tried it, and he made it. He said, you can make it to the halfway mark in the pool.
Oh, my word.
So they do that.
I guess he miscalculated.
Yeah, he did. He's a good mathematician, just not that day.
Wow. Okay, so you're living in Commerce or?
Well, I live in the Banks County part of Commerce. Commerce has Banks, Jackson, Madison, Franklin. Is that it?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either.
We have all those counties. I do live in the Banks County part and of Commerce, and a lot of my family lives in the Madison County part, and I can't tell you about them either.
Oh, yes, you can tell us about them.
We just blame their issues on the amount of aluminum
In the water?
in the water. From we built our house out of brick. Theirs ain't. But anyway. Oh, me.
Okay, I'm following.
I won't be invited to the reunion next year. Ain't enough
I'm
room
sure that's okay.
Ain't enough room in a trailer. Oh, I'm gonna have to stop being mean. No, I won't. No,
you don't. No, you don't. It's okay.
Yeah, we can edit all that out, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We'll get you to preview it first.
Oh yeah, I bet you will.
I wouldn't know he would. Well, so when was the first time you ever came to Maysville? What was your initial thoughts when you came here? Like, when was that?
Oh, when I was a child.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Because my uncle, C.L. Hanley,
Okay.
had a grocery store here.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was your uncle.
Yes,
Okay.
right on Main Street.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
that was
So
big.
he was up here where Minnie Shug was?
Yes.
Okay.
So we, is that right on the Main Street there?
Yes.
Well, that's
Yeah.
Yes. So my mom's family lived in Madison County. So on Sundays we would drive. Back then you would drive for fun,
Yeah.
So when we would come to Maysville, which was a long way from my grandmother's house, because they'd put all 10 of us kids in the back seat. It's like a bunch of cats crawling over each other. So we would come here, and we could go into his store, and we could get one piece of candy, and that probably cost a fortune,
I'm sure.
Because I'm going to pick the biggest one, And then, but he and his wife, Nettie, lived in a brick house just up the street. It was just a small brick house, but it was a brick house.
Well, that was a big deal.
So we all thought that they were filthy rich, and then I guess as a child I just did that. But when I got into high school, that's when I learned about there was a festival here. And Maysville has some cute boys up here. So,
You went to the street dance, I
yeah,
guess.
so I told my mama, I believe I'm going to go to the festival, Mama. I just turned 17.
Okay.
And I had a little bit of money. So when I came up that year to the festival, I was going to buy my mom a gift. I was looking around. They just, sand art was a big thing.
Oh.
So it was this glass globe-looking thing, and I had this sand art thing made for her. And we had that thing at our house, I guess, 40 years.
Aww.
And it was a long time. And then my dad passed away in 2000, and it was still there. And so guess who inherited it?
You did.
Yes.
You still have it?
I have the container with the sand, and the picture's gone.
Oh.
From my daddy's house to my house, that thing kind of turned over.
Oh, no.
So, but it's really nice because it's I could put a couple of succulents in there, believe it or not. And I took the top of it because it looked like a terrarium type thing. So I took that off, and so now it's just kind of cute. And but I still can remember. That's a memory for me.
Right.
Yeah. But I loved coming to those festivals. A lot of years, I just missed them, because they just kind of went. And I had kids, and I wasn't about to bring them because then they'd want to be doing everything, want to eat everything, so I didn't bring them. But then I started like hosting the festival and trying to help them bring in acts to do, music and stuff like that. And that was fun, and that had its own little season. It was hard work, but it was so much fun.
Yeah. What's your most memorable event that you did? Show? And why? Because that sounds good.
Every time I'm asked that, my mind immediately goes to when I was in Kuwait and I was entertaining the soldiers. I was on stage one night, and this was like on the third night. By this time, we're tired, we're worn out. The climate is so different there. It's 120, the humidity is real high, and we had learned about their culture and like there being a 5 o'clock alarm, because they have this horn that will sound that's when you stop and they pray, the Muslims will pray. And I'm on stage just right in the middle of the show, just going at it, pouring sweat, and I just the whole 9 yards. Well, I hear that, and for some reason, as many times as I'd heard it, I thought we were getting ready to be bombed. I went face down on that stage, and I just laid there. Well, all of the soldiers thought it was pretty funny, and I'm just like, are we okay? Because nobody's moving. My security team, I had 6 men that had not moved. They're still on 3 on each side of the stage, and I'm just looking, and one of them said, get up. Get up. Oh no, I think I've done something wrong. But I'll never forget that. I've never been scared like that.
Oh.
I've been scared.
But not like that.
I thought I was going to die. I just thought, this is it.
So how do you segue back into your routine?
Well, I was actually I was doing a set on trying to put all this into that size 6 swimsuit,
Which is a great set.
And so I was doing that set. And so when I came back, it just kind of fed right back in. And I said, that's pretty much how I felt trying to get into that size 6. And then I just kept going and didn't stop. But that was something else,
So you had 6 people security. What was that like? I mean, how long was the trip over? How long did you stay? What was it like? Would you do it again?
Yes, I would do it again. And I was invited to go back, and it was in, 30, so I was 15 or 16, I think I was invited to come back. And my husband said no. He said, I like your pretty little head way too much.
Aw.
That took some explaining. Like, what do you mean? Oh, you like my head too? Okay, got you. Okay, we won't go. But I did stay in contact with one of the guys who worked that security team, and he told me that, we do need entertainment, but I don't think that it's a place for a woman right now, especially an American woman.
Right.
And you look very American. So, but when we got there into Kuwait, I had to get the visa and do all this stuff, and that was with John Christ and Graham Elwood. And Graham had made multiple trips to entertain the troops, so he knew exactly what we need to do, and he's kind of guiding us, telling us what we need to do. And I began to notice their culture is very different than ours. So all the men would walk at the head of a line as they proceeded through the airport. Then it would be the male children, then the female children, the wife, and then at the back of the line would be their maid or whatever. And it was explained to me that most of the time those ladies had had their visas taken from them, that they couldn't leave the country. And most of them were Philippines and a Filipinian.
So they were slaves?
Yes.
Wow.
And so they had to stay. And so those were the things I began to notice that were just so different. And here in our country, it's not like that. It's, it is not. It's so different. And anytime I hear people complaining about our country, I want to go, you know what? I might want to buy your ticket. Honey, their customs and their culture is not like ours. I have been in the entertainment world long enough to know that it's not really the people, because if the people could shut out the news and things that they hear and read, that's a lot of the propaganda, they would feel different, you know. But you just gotta love and meet people like where they are. If you don't have that seed planted that you need to hate those people,
Right.
then life would be so much better. And so now I do a lot of corporate work, which it usually is going to be a Friday or a Saturday. And so if I have a show in Asheville, he can hop in the car, we can go together. Greenville, you know, anywhere around the southeast here, we're good. And I can do a podcast. We're good. I can still do work with Matt Chastain. You know, I can still do film. I'm okay. But that traveling by myself, I don't do it anymore.
So were you ever scared while you were there? Were you thinking, oh Lord, I may not get back home?
Oh yeah.
Other than the time you were down on the stage.
Yes. We were at we had gone up to Camp Buring one day. I had the opportunity to take a ride in a Black Hawk.
Ooh.
But they told me that they could not put the sides on and I'm like, I'm not going. I'm not getting it. They're like, Dannette, this is the chance of a lifetime. Every time this thing goes up, it's $50,000. I mean, you'll never get this chance again. I'm like, well,
Let's do it.
No. Are you kidding?
Oh, I would have been right in there.
No.
Yeah.
She's a thrill seeker.
Yes. Oh, blessed. No, they wouldn't put the doors on. See, and I have fear of heights.
You didn't go,
No, I
really?
could climb up all day long. So they said, I said, what else can I do? They said, well, you can go on a security ride with us. I'll do that. Okay, stupid me.
Yeah.
So we get in this. I get all bundled up. Had no clue. Like they put this bullet shield thing on me, big old helmet, and they put me in a tank. And I said, "Oh, this is great pictures. You know, we're taking pictures." And so we start riding, and I said, well, "Where are we going?" We're out in the middle of the desert. And they say, well, we have to ride the berm of, you know, the Kuwait and Iraqi border. I went, huh? What? And they said, so what we looking for? He said, well, because we have to look, make sure that there's not insurgents coming. I'm like, why? Can we turn around and go back? No, we have to finish this. I'm like, can we go any faster? No, this is insane, Dannette. It only goes so fast. Okay, that scared me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Couldn't wait to get back to safety. So I was like, oh my goodness. Anything else y'all want to do? I'm like, yeah, sign me up. I'll do it. But I had so many crazy things happen there. So like the soldiers aren't allowed to wear, I call them flip-flops. What do you call those shoes?
Flip-flops.
Flip-flops.
Yeah.
Well, they call them shower shoes. I didn't know that. And it says, all right, so there's certain places you can't go with shower shoes on. And I thought, well, that's a stupid sign. You know, why did anybody want to wear the shower shoes in here? So I was standing there with my flip-flops, you know. So I go in, and I got the eyes because I had on my flip-flops. These aren't shower shoes.
Those
These are my flip-flops, you know. So then when we're coming back out, I say to John Christ, I don't know why they were looking at me so weird. He's just dying laughing. He said, because you have on shower shoes. I said, I do not. These are flip-flops. And he's just dying laughing. Because he's the idiot that told me, oh, those aren't shower shoes.
Oh.
Those are
He did it on purpose.
You can wear those in. Oh, yes, he did.
Oh.
So, little things like that kept happening, but they were just fun little nuggets that would keep us going and keep us awake. And we were in the Persian Gulf. We're going to tour a ship one day. And it's very, very humid there and hot. And we're down in the bow of that thing, and all you is, and I'm standing up listening to this tour guide. I'm so sleepy. I'm just standing there. I look like I'm drunk. I can't stay awake. Finally, I just said, well, I've got to go get some cold air. And they said, "Are you getting sick?" I said, "I lied. Yes, I think I am." And always sound like I gotta sleep. So there was those little things.
Yeah.
Probably the scariest thing, even more so than me having to go flat down on my face, was the day we were leaving. I was so excited to see my husband. He was. It was a 13-and-a-half-hour flight back to Dulles. And then from Dulles back into Atlanta. I'm there at that base. I would fix myself up, put makeup on. I'm like getting ready for him. I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I thought I'd see him in 30 minutes. When I came out, my security team were like, "Miss Dannette, you don't even look like yourself." I said, "No, I'm about ready to see my husband." And I go, "Okay." And they just laugh because they knew, "Look, you ain't going to look like that, in 16 hours. No, you're not going to look like that." Well, we get to the airport and they need our visas back, so I look in the pouch where I'm pretty sure I
Oh
put
my God.
No, it wasn't there. It was not in my purse. It was not in the pouch. It was not in my bag. It was nowhere to be found.
Wow.
And so I began to cry like uncontrollable. So all that work I done
All that
done,
makeup's
it
going everywhere.
gone. So one of the security guys comes over and he said, "Miss Dannette, just sit down and think about where you put it." And I just yelled at him, "I put it in my luggage." No, and of course, everybody's looking at me, So he's like, "It's fine. Let me look." He opened up the first zipper he did.
There it was? Oh my God.
But I forgot to look in there. And I thought, they're going to make me stay over here with these men and they're not going to be nice to me because I'm going to run this mouth. I know I will. Like, no, I'm not going to walk behind you. I'll walk beside you and hold your hand, but I ain't going to walk behind you.
Yeah, that wouldn't have ended well.
No.
So you made it back home and it was a great reunion. And how was your makeup?
Oh, it didn't care. It didn't care. I didn't care. It didn't care. He didn't care. No, I was so glad to see him after we got together finally because when my plane landed, I started looking for, I don't know what I was looking for. I ended up at a different part of the airport. They had to send a van to get me because I was out over at International Luggage or something.
Oh.
I don't know where, I was in the wrong place. That place is only about as big as this right here. And when I got in there, I was like, this one lone lady goes, "Can I help you?" I said, "I'm trying to find my luggage." She goes, "Where'd you come in from?" And I said, "Well, I got back from Kuwait. I flew to Dulles and here." And she just dies laughing. She said, "Honey, hold on. There's people looking for you." She said, "Are you Ramona Flint?" Well, see, that's my first name. And I go, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "Your husband is worried to death about you."
Aww.
So that made, when I finally did see him, look, I get goosebumps just thinking about it. When I saw him, he just grabbed me and just, it was the greatest hug ever.
Aww.
I said, "I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry." He's like, "No, I just didn't know what happened to you." And just, it worked. He carried all my luggage and everything right to the car. I don't think I stopped kissing him all the way back home. No. And then
I'm
after that-
envious of that relationship.
Oh, yeah. It's fun. It is. It's a lot of fun.
What, that back home stuff?
You know it.
You're doing the laundry.
We was doing the laundry, yes.
Tell me about laundry.
See, at my house, do you know what laundry is?
I think I do.
Yes. I don't ever let it get piled up at my house, I can tell you that. Yeah. I make sure he never has to do it by himself, So. Yep, I keep I'll make sure that it's done up. And done right. I never mind. There's no fabric softener involved at all. Most of it's hard water, too, so. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, about laundry.
Yes, enough.
That's enough. That's enough. Well, tell us before you go. We want to know what would you like to see if you could do one thing, if you could wave a magic wand and do one thing that you think would really be cool for Maysville, Georgia, or as we affectionately call it, Maysbury. What would it be? What would you like to see here?
Oh, I truly believe that a theater where people could perform would do very well here.
Ooh.
I really do.
I do too.
to have a nice, comfortable theater where, artists can come and they want to come and that the crowds are good. And because it's nice and quiet here. And you can still have a nice, quiet atmosphere. Even if you have something like that come in, you're going to have restaurants and things like that. But it can still be nice and quiet and just quaint. You can do that. And I know it can happen because my husband and I, his family's from Ohio, and they're from the northwestern part of the state.
Yankees.
Oh, isolated. Like it's amazing. When we get off the exit to go to his hometown, there is nothing. There's no gas station, but there's that one lone theater.
Aw,
And
Really?
it is always packed
really?
Wow.
because people want to be entertained.
Yes.
And if you offer them the entertainment, they'll come. They really will. And Maysville's located, depending on what artist you get, Greenville is not too far to come. I know some people that will drive, 3 and 4 hours to see an artist.
Yep.
We're close to Atlanta, Gainesville, Athens. It's here. You may have to do some convincing to get something like that here.
Yeah.
Because if people don't understand that it's not going to bring a big city, no, it depends on how. It takes a lot of planning. It takes probably a couple of years of planning to say, this is our goal, and this is what has to happen to make that. We're not going to have the chain restaurants coming in over here.
Right.
That's the key.
Right.
Yeah.
People want something different. And so that's my thing. People are going to say, like, well, you ain't even from around here.
Thank y'all so much for tuning in to yet another edition of Blind Squirrel Talk, famous in a small town. I'm Lulu.
I'm Kim.
And I'm Dannette.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.